Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of Minecraft Invasion. So we are going to get right into the thick of things and hopefully do a bit more crafting of all the things that we are going to need to finish our chemical reactor as well as our fueling station, making sure that we have all that we need for it. I know that's kind of, well, goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So we're going to need a few power input plugs. That's one of the main things we need here. So let's go and get the power input plugs for this first of all. And there's also some things that we need for here. Chemical reactor. Chemical reactor. I think that's not correct. Isn't this... Doesn't the fueling station require something? Or was I being a complete idiot? Probably was being a complete idiot. Now what I thought was when I clicked on here, it gave something. So, man, this is a slow thing to actually mine. I'm wondering if there's a faster tool that I need to use for this. Anyway, so when I right-click that, we get the chemical reactor. So I don't think this actually requires anything in order to make better. So I was kind of barking up the wrong tree in that regard. So, guess I didn't need to make that extra motor, did I? Probably will end up using the motor on something else, but let's see what we need for this. Now, apparently, someone mentioned this, I can actually scroll to find the other things, and if we look at here, there's a lot of stuff, like an orbital laser drill. What the heck is an orbital laser drill? Well, I can probably guess by its name, but anyways, that's going to be a fun thing that I'm going to have to get into. So we need power input plugs again. 2 of these. Hopefully I have enough materials for everything that I need, but we'll find out. There we go. So we got that. I think let's get everything that we need. We needed power input plugs. Good. Fluid output hatch. Output hatch. Power input plugs. Let's put these down. There we go. That was weird. Then we'll scroll up. We need fluid input hatch. Fluid input hatches. And input hatch. So the output hatch is here, and the input hatch is here, but the fluid output hatch is here. But this doesn't feel like the best way of going about this. And also, I think it might be better if I were to... Am I able to use this? No, I'm not. I think it'd be better for me to deconstruct this and rotate it. So let me do that quickly. Hang on. I have mining fatigue. Why do I have mining fatigue? Wait, what? What is giving me mining fatigue? I don't have anything that would give me it, unless this little jerk butt is deciding to be, well, a jerk butt. Oh god, that hurt a lot. Mining fatigue. Why the heck would I have that? I still have it, so it makes me think for some reason something's wrong here. But that's not right, because... Okay, I'm really confused. Because before I left, I definitely did not have mining fatigue, but now I do, and there's only 2 possibilities. Possibility 1 is that there's some sort of physical debuff applied to me through some sort of ailment that I'm not entirely sure of, which I don't know. But possibility 2 is that something is causing this on me. I'm gonna have to log off and log back on. It's possible that one of the things here has that effect on me, but not too likely, because look at the speed of this. This is an unacceptable amount of speed that I'm getting. Unless there's something wrong with my blood. Blood analyzer. Is there an analyzer? Can I no, I can only analyze my cells. Okay, I'm really confused. This is something that's completely new to me. there doesn't seem like there's any reason why I have mining fatigue, but maybe it was because I logged in with the steel greatsword or something like that. If I take this off, it's okay. Okay, it was a glitch. The glitch was because the steel greatsword gives me mining fatigue, but it didn't take it out when I switched back to my diamond pickaxe. That's good news. That's annoying news, but it's good news all the same. So we still have the 2 fluid input hatches, the fluid output hatch, as well as the other things that I need. Let me hold this while I'm doing that. So fluid input hatches, I believe they require buckets, so I'm gonna have to make a few of those. I'm missing iron rods. Let's see all the iron I have. Not much in the way of iron ingots either. Sorry, iron plates, so let's make 9 of those, might as well. We got 6 iron ingots since the last episode, so I guess we're doing well enough right now, but it's still, it at least feels like it's a slower process than it should be. So, bucket, still missing those things, I guess we're gonna have to wait. There's also the input hatches for the items. What was it? Let me actually check that again, because I am going insane. Ha! So we have the output hatch and the fluid output hatch, and we also need the input hatch, so that's good. So let us get the hatches. We have the input hatch, which just requires a chest. We have the output hatch, which just requires a chest, so we'll make that out here. Good, and we'll just make that there, and we have 2 fluid input hatches that are required to be made. So we'll make 2 buckets, and we are going to make 2 of these. Fluid, nope. Yes? Yes. Yes, because I can convert them if I have the wrong thing, so that'll be good. Not a problem there. So, input hatch, first of all. So input hatch done. You have the fluid input hatches, which are, well, that's the fluid output hatch, and we have an output hatch. So let's do fluid output hatch, output hatch. So because the fluid output hatch is there, I might have to move the assembly around because, well, I'm going to have to go about going through here, basically. I think that's the only way I'll be able to go about this. Speaking about going about things, let's see. There we go. And I have some pressurized fluid conduits that I made for myself, and I also have some energy conduits. So let's place the energy conduits. That is good. And I no longer have my means of escape, so let us find a way to go about that. There we go. Thank goodness I found that issue, because otherwise that would have been driving me crazy for this entire episode. 'Cause I wouldn't know what the heck was wrong, and then it'd be something because of my fault or something along those lines. Anyways, so, got that there. We'll just do one extra thing, and we're going to need to set our system so that it auto extracts from this extremity. Should use these, not these. Right click. Okay, so extract, always active. Now that's extracting the fluids. Well, not yet, but it will anyways. We got this. That's obviously not formed. Then we finally have these parts, so the input hatch and input hatch. So the 2 fluid input hatches. That's good. Now we got that, so that will have an input. This is the power. This is the chemical reactor. This is amazing. What's the speed? One-time multiplier. That's fine. And I don't think we're gonna use the chemical reactor for anything except the fluid. We could do a bunch of this stuff. Wow, there is a bunch of uses for the chemical reactors. But it seems most of the chemical reactor usage... Yeah, okay, so I need to make rocket fuel, right? Rocket fuel is made by the vat. So I don't think this is the proper thing. I need to use this. The chemical reactor uses oxygen and hydrogen. So in order to do that, I'll take the oxygen from here and the hydrogen from here. And I think it requires 2 separate lines. because I don't think we can connect them to the same line. So we're gonna have to think about how we're gonna do this. We'll do it like this. Or actually, let's do it like this. Might as well be smart about this. So we'll have this go here. It's not gonna connect there. Don't worry about that. I see that right away. So there. Not what I wanted. There we go. And we got one. And this is going to be extract. Always active. So this has the hydrogen. Now we're going to need some more pressurized fluid conduits. So let's make some more of these. We're going to need more fuse quartz. I think I had some crafting in here. In here. Yeah. Okay. Whoop. Let's go back and throw this down. Fuse quartz. There we go. Throw this in here. I think this is all we're probably going to need anyway. So let's put that up and connect everything. So this... we don't want that connected. So this means that because this is currently empty, we're going to have to make sure that we have a separate dedicated line, obviously. So there, there. Now that'll go in here. Let's actually check how this is doing. And we got full hydrogen set up. Good. And then all we have to do is set this to extract, always active, and now we have oxygen going into this pipe. Oxygen, yay. It is definitely included. Finally, we do have the stuff that we need to extract, so in order to do that, we are going to need to have a tank. So where are these guys spawning and attacking my villagers? So those guys are in a huddle. You're not. And I think you just sought out me or something. Oh. Lasers, help me. Protect me, lasers. Thank you. That made quick work. So let's increase the range for this. Don't think I'm gonna have to... What did you shoot? Do I want to know what you shot? You probably shot a fish. Well, not really a fish, more like something that is willing to eat my heart out at a moment's notice. So, basically a fish. Actually, it's been a while since I used this, so let's remember how we use this. Throw this in the fridge, then we're just going to need to make a bunch of garden salad. I wish I found this thing a lot earlier than I did, because it's so helpful to find all the food that I need. It's, like, amazing. Like, all the noms. I get all the noms through this. So, singularity tank. We need to make a singularity tank, or some sort of tank, so let's check what type of tanks we have again. I might as well upgrade one of these to a stone version. We're missing a bucket, naturally, because that's how we go about our business. Let's make a modular tank again, and we'll get... stone. So, yes, I forgot. This is... We're not able to easily upgrade. We have to go about this. Do we have any andesite in order to actually make this? We don't have that, and it says we have one andesite. So it decided that, hey, we have all the items that we need, so we're just going to mess around with Way a bit, because why not? Hey, I need my glass. It is a pain in order to make these. Oh, now it's showing. Anyways. So all we're going to do is, it's just a simple modular tank. We're going to place this here, we're going to have that there, and once we set this to go, like now, it'll start crafting our stuff at a pretty slow rate, honestly. But now we have 20 millibuckets of rocket fuel, and it might go like 10 of this plus 10 of this equals 20 of that. That would make sense, I think. And this is still processing all the water that it has. Okay, so now that that is actually finished processing, we have this quest to complete. So fill her up. Gave us a fueling station, and it has a fluid tank, which doesn't have anything in it. But I could have used it there, but I didn't. So, yeah. And we'll just place this and fill it with water and replace that thing over there. So what's our next quest that we need to do? We need to make a tank of rocket fuel. So how do we actually make the tanks of rocket fuel? Do we have to use a bucket on this in order to get it? Because there's this input hatch and the output hatch. I think the input and output hatches are purely for... Oh, that actually looks like a hopper. That's kind of neat, actually. Are purely for the recipes that aren't fluid recipes. So, obviously not this one, because it's not fluid recipe. Now, the tanks. Am I able to... Pressure tank, low pressure tank. What's the uses of this? Is this only for... Okay, we can actually fill these with the things, but they just contain the thing. I don't think we can fill these up easily. Unless it's just a bucket. I had the tanks over here, didn't I? Yes. So let's get those tanks. Don't want those. These might end up just being buckets, and if they are buckets, it should be an easy enough thing to figure out. Actually, speaking about figuring out, let's us get this. There we go. And since we have this that's available to us, we'll just take it. Thank you. And we'll put the water here and try out these tanks on the hydrogen, for instance. Okay, they are just buckets. But we're not able to fill. They're buckets that can't be filled. At least using this. So, do we have something that's able to package this? Let's see what we have. It's probably going to be something here. Rolling machine, electrolyzer, chemical reactor, warp core, microwave receiver, biome scanner. No. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for this to fill up a bit, and then I'll just try right-clicking it, because we'll see if that works. So, it didn't work, but it got me thinking, after doing a bit of tinkering with this thing, that let's send it to a fluid input hatch. So it's going to have rocket fuel, and we're also going to need to send our rocket fuel that we have in here to that as well. So that's just going to be a simple fluid conduit. We'll just do this. Extract, always active, so this is going to just take all that done. Out, and that's done. So we have all the rocket fuel currently going in here, and we'll just have our bucket, which we no longer have because of that. So let's actually take this. So we have our oxygen. No, this is our hydrogen. And if we do this, it should... No, it's not going to fill that up. Ha! No. Okay. Let's just make another bucket. Let's make another bucket. That'd be helpful. We need more iron rods this time around. Okay, so... I never had to create a lot of buckets before, so I forgot at how annoying it is to actually make the ones that I kind of need, which is kind of unfortunate, really, because it's one of the things that it's kind of necessary. Now, I'm wondering if I screwed everything up by doing all this stuff, because I don't know if I'm able to extract here. Yes, I am able to extract, so worst comes to worst, I'll just pull it out there. So let's get our bucket now, please. Thank you very much. Let us make something that won't drive us insane due to all the complexities that... Oh god, I threw my garden salad onto that. So let's extract that from there, because I don't think that's going to produce anything that is worthwhile. At least nothing that we're going to care to see. Garden salad on a plate. Might be good on a plate. So bucket. Now we got rocket fuel. So that is how we are going to go about making our rocket fuel. Now the problem then arises, other than the fact that we need 16 buckets in order to complete our operation, is the fact that this thing is slow as heck. Which means that we are going to need Let's set that to always active, which means we are going to need to do something a bit better than what we are currently doing in this situation. Let's put that there, and I'm going to remove that seal rim later once I have everything working at a desired capacity of some sort. Yes. Get this out of here. We'll extract that hydrogen at a later time. So we need to get a motor. We need to get a better motor, to be more specific. We can make a steel and gold motor, or we can make an aluminum and titanium motor. Now titanium, we have a lot of stuff already that we can process into titanium. We have rutile ore. If we check the rutile ore, we can crush it, pulverize it, crush it, arc furnace it, crush it, or electric blast furnace it. We can also crush it. So let's just crush this rutile ore. We actually have more iridium than rutile ore, and we're going to need quite a bit. So, but that requires 16 total titanium in order to do, so I think the cheapest would be to just process this in the crusher. We need a crusher, or we can use the pulvis that we have here. So this pulvis I already had set to process a lot of the iridium dust. So if we just throw this iridium dust in here, we're going to get a lot of iridium. Now titanium's used for a lot of the higher end recipes that we are not quite at yet. It's going to be gated by this fuel. But in order to get to that, we are going to need to quicken our process, so this speed modifier will be good. Now, this will only increase it by 2, so I think I might as well use 8 of the ore to make that advanced motor, because I'm going to end up using it eventually, right? Yeah, that's my thinking. Speaking about which, yes. Let's get our iridium. We only have 6 of it processed, that's enough. So we're just going to make 2 bars and 3 plates. And once all of this is processed, we'll just send it into a furnace. And once that's finished, we'll be good. Now let us use one of the other furnaces. This, because it is faster due to the double layered capacitor. Now how much are we at already? Bum. We are at another bucket's worth. Bucket and a half. Now I do want to get all of these tanks of oxygen, so we're gonna have to slow down, or rather turn off that production, which is unfortunate, but whatever. Now I'm wondering, is the speed hampered by the fact that only one power input plug is currently in use? That's something I'm not entirely sure of. Rocket fuel, it doesn't actually give the recipe for it, but I guess we're gonna have to go with it. Do we have everything ready for the motor yet? Do we? Yes, we do. Okay, so let's make everything that we need for this advanced motor so that we can go Super Saiyan fast. So this, and this. Now we have ourselves an elite motor, which hopefully will give us elite skills. Now everything should keep all of its contents. I'm not worried about that. But let's just do this. Thank you for actually giving it to me. And we'll right click that. And this should be going at a much faster clip. Okay, so now I'm not going to be waiting for her an arm and a leg. That doesn't even make sense in order to do everything. And the oxygen will be going at a much faster rate. But I think I'm going to just temporarily disconnect this. Yep, that is not the disconnect button. There we go. And there we go. And we'll just throw the oxygen in there. And we already have the hydrogen in there. And once all that is processed, we'll actually have the buckets required to collect our rocket fuel. So I think I'm just going to wait a bit, because I'm not entirely sure what is going to be the next quest. And I might as well just faff about. Faff I go. Maybe I can look at a dungeon or something. Or actually, yeah, let's try to do something. As a bit of an aside, I've been enjoying this pack. It's a nice bit of difficulty when you want it, at least at this point in the game. I I think lighting the area might have cheesed it quite a bit, but not as much as living underground though, because if you were living underground, you'd definitely not receive any sort of danger whatsoever, which is kind of unfortunate. Because I think the danger is what makes this pack fun. You can't really have a fun pack of this type without any danger. And at this point, there's not really too much danger. Then again, considering I am at the last quest of the game, I shouldn't be too surprised. So we got our final rocket fuel that we needed, so we are going to be able to at least start our journey by looking at our next quests, which are probably going to be a wallop. Let's look. So 50% completed. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We finished 7 of the quests here. That means we only have 7 quests left. So we're going to need a suit. So it won't be able to last very long in space without a proper spacesuit. Craft one together and suit up for your mission out of this place. So we need space helmet, spacesuit, basically a lot of space. Space! So let's see what type of space we need. So spacesuit requires a bunch of iron and some wool, lots of wool, and gonna have to do that, and more wool, as well as a bunch of iron plating. Now I put all of the iron that I had in this steel making thing here because I'm pretty darn sure I'm gonna need some steel soon as well. This is currently busy crafting up a bit more coal coke, and I guess I'll harvest these, even though it's not really necessary at this point in the game. We'll just take our iron there for now because we need it, and we also managed to make 28 iron while I was waiting and doing my video, or doing this. So let's do that. Do that. That'll be enough. And let's get a bunch of wool, I guess. We already have a bunch of wool, so what are the things that we need? So we got our space helmet. Not gonna wear that right away. We're missing our iron plates, so I guess we'll have to wait for that. We also need this, so we're missing plates there as well. So let's check how many steel rods we have. We don't actually have that many steel rods either, so why a line? Why a line about the things that we need? Let's just make a bit more steel because I imagine that it will be very helpful. So space boots. We also need to make a steel fan, so that's even more plates that we need to make. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thankfully, once it's finished crafting all this stuff, it'll be a very quick thing to make everything that we need. Pants. Good. We're just missing the suit. So steel fan. Just gonna have to wait for that one other plate. There we go. Steel fan. Then we need to wait for 2 more plates in order to make this. Or actually, we're missing a rod. Thought we... No, we ended up needing to use one of the rods in order to make the fan. That makes sense. Okay. Now, this is still making rocket fuel. Sorry, I meant to go up. Still making rocket fuel. We'll eventually need to throw it into the fueling station. I do think, at least. So that will be the next step in this sorted affair. So was it just that? Liquid fuel tank. Using a lot of things. I can imagine we're going to need a lot of steel at the end of this quest chain. That is something that I imagine. So we got an atmosphere analyzer, which I imagine will analyze our atmosphere. So this is a good breathable area. I guess I'll put that there, and the spacesuit we'll just shove into here because we don't really need it. Let's look at the other 2 quests because we are going to need to go. So use the suit workstation to upgrade and monitor the information on your spacesuit. You'll need to insert tanks of oxygen to be able to breathe while in space. So suit workstation. Wait, what type of rickety crafting table? Oh, rickety crafting tables. I have all of them in my knapsack because I never let go of a good thing. Never! Except that one time. Anyway, so rickety crafting table got converted into suit workstation, which does this require power? Probably not. but we'll put it next to that for now. So this will allow us to slot stuff into our suit, which we'll need to do later. And this gives us a pressurized tank. And finally, we need to make a launch pad construction stuff. So we need 25 launch pads, 8 structure towers, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll read this. Oh god. Oh, this gives us a T-Rex and a bunch of other stuff. So let's look at the launch pads. So the launch pad requires just some concrete, coal powder, and some dandelion yellow. Crud. Crud. So, we're going to need to go on an adventure, because I do not have any yellow dye to my name, and we need the equivalent of 12 and a half flowers. It's probably gonna be okay, but yeah, I see some there. Then again, that might be canola. I see some dandelion. So, I guess I know what I'm gonna be doing. Pushing up daisies next episode. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Minecraft Invasion. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day. What are you doing, Karen? Okay, yes.